So in this video, I'm going to show how there's a bit of a secret to the stream of consciousness that, as far as I'm aware of, no one has really pointed out that it can be used to illuminate the illusion of a single self. And so when we get inside and we start analyzing who's up there, the first thing that should be apparent is something that Freud called ambivalence. And that's the idea that we can't just have a single emotion towards an object or a person. So even if there's love, there's also hate towards it. And so you can't have a single emotion. And we saw that really explicitly with the split brain patients. And so again, remember, these are individuals who had the corpus callosum cut. So the left brain and right brain are totally isolated. So remember, there's a crossover too. So the left brain controls the right hand, right brain controls the left hand. And they would ask the split brain patients, all these questions. And most of the time, the two sides of the brain were on the same page. But the cool thing is, every so often, they got a perfect case of ambivalence. So they'd ask, well, do you miss your girlfriend? And they get a perfect case of ambivalence where part of them did and part of them didn't. How do you think the president is doing? It would be something like that. And those are perfect cases of ambivalence. And of course, the split brain patient is just an exaggeration of us, because we often say, part of me agrees with you and part of me doesn't. But the way we say that is holding on dearly to the idea of a single solid self. But it's kind of a ground movement that's working its way up, because we know that self is just holding on to an illusion. And the truth is that there's just a multiplicity in us. But when you think how often we could save a lot of time with arguments. So next time you're dealing with a debate, imagine if you started off with the idea that, well, part of me agrees with you, or even it's likely that at least some part of me agrees with you, and then you go from there. So what does this have to do with the stream of consciousness? Well, William James famously coined the phrase the stream of consciousness to describe the true nature of what's going on inside us. And the nature of consciousness is like a flowing stream. It's just one thought flows into another, it flows into another. And this got picked up in literature. And so I'm going to read you just a real short passage from James Joyce, and you'll be able to connect with this, because this is what happens to us, all the time. It's really the default mode network, just sort of rambling. And so it's something like this. I'll probably get it wrong. So let me see if I can doze off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What kind of flowers are those? They invented like the stars. The wallpaper in Lombard Street was much nicer than the apron he gave me. But I only wore that like twice. I better lower this lamp and try to get to sleep, because I need to get up early. I mean, it's just that, continuous, like non sequitur. It's not, there's not even any coherency to it. And yet the illusion of self somehow rises above all that chaos and acts as if there's some kind of single consistency to it. And I forget who said it, but it was a wonderful quote, how consistency is the hobgoblin of small minds. And so the self-illusion is all tied in with that illusion of consistency. But I think the metaphor is best put when you think of it as, when we don't really introspect very much. It feels like there's a single voice holding a microphone, and maybe all the audience members are just different areas of the brain. But it has, it's one voice singing one song. The truth is much more like passing the microphone around to the audience, and audience members having all kinds of different opinions and fluctuating. And it's just, sometimes it can feel super random. But that illusion of self, it's like having a dream, where the dream images can be very random, but then when you wake up, that left brain interpreter creates that illusion of a solid, consistent story. So explore a little bit. The practice would be to explore a little bit with the actual stream of consciousness, and notice how when it rambles, it really rambles almost, randomly. And that's why in the East, they sometimes refer to it as this, kind of crazy monkey bouncing around in the skull. And that crazy monkey bouncing around is the stream of consciousness. It's just that we've superimposed this order, this single voice in what really is a crowd.